However, if I have feelings that are uncomfortable or comfortable or blissful or painful, and I'm considering that Shenan, this vessel, the body, and the personality Shenan has a relationship with the divine principle of thought, then I'm better able to sit with it because I'm considering divinity. I'm considering something beyond me. And I can feel my way through the experience, not think my way through the experience. I don't want to manage my feelings. I want to be my feelings. We're not taught that. And you know, there's a lot, as far as I see, there's a lot of confusion, misunderstanding, and fear around feelings. People fear their feelings. I used to for decades. And one of the most beautiful things I've seen is that, this might just sound very redundant and abstract, but they're feelings. You can't be scared of feelings. They're feelings. Oh, but Shenan, you don't understand. They're so intense and they drop my blood pressure and my serotonin's down and my dopamine's unbalanced. Yeah, because you're thinking about your feelings. Just feel them. Just feel them. Now, I had people say, yeah, that's easy for you to say. No, it's not easy for me to say, actually. I was very, very confused for years and years and years, and I did the complete opposite. But it is insight, right? As Sid says, it is insight that changes us. It's not information. Information can help you manage it. External influence can help you cope with it, but it is insight that will help you. And an insight is a sight you get from within yourself, because what is within ourselves is the divine principle of thought, not a personal principle of thought. It's divine. It's not yours. It's not mine. It's divine. It's impersonal. It's universal. That creates a feeling. If I'm willing to sit with the feeling, I will get cleared up faster. The less I associate my words or any words to that feeling, even to the fact that I'm calling it grief. If I don't buy that word, then I'm sitting with the feeling. I call it grief, and that's a coping mechanism. This can sound like fighting words to the APA, right? Any description you give to a feeling takes you away from the direct, intimate experience you can have with energy moving through you. And any description you give to a feeling is a coping mechanism, because there's a lack of understanding of the fact that there's energy moving through you. There's no need for description. If you're doing that and you're using that as a coping mechanism, that's okay. But if you know that that's what you're doing, that's really helpful, right? When I talked about the experience, I talked about it as a grieving process, because that's what it was, a grieving process. But in truth, it wasn't a grieving process. Those are just words. We are describing a process that all of us have related to in some way. In truth, it's just the body is feeling energy. What kind of energy? To whatever your level best is. Do not associate words to feeling. Feel it. The more you associate words to it, the more confused you get, the more the mind wants to categorize what's going on in the body. That's grief, and that's regret, that's fear, that's doubt, that's shame, that's gratitude, that's happiness. And we categorize it. How do we categorize it? We're misusing thought. We're using the principle of thought to divide into more thought. But the principle of thought creates experience, and you can just stay with experience without dividing it and categorizing it and describing it and labeling it. And you don't have to do that. The more you do that, the less you can feel your way through life, and the more you become clever into descriptions, creating concepts in your mind and living inside of concepts. But that's not life. Life is living as a felt experience. So the main point I really want to emphasize here is that we are meant to feel our way through life. You go out there and you feel it. You have direct experience with the bird that you're looking at. Feel the feeling. You get annoyed because of crows outside your house sometimes, or just cawing all day. Stay with being annoyed. In fact, be the annoyance. Not even be annoyed. Become the annoyance. Because that's, in one way, as a description only, for the sake of communication. If I am feeling what we call fear, and if I face the fear, not describe the fear, not what am I fearful about, where did it come from, what is my biggest fear? No, that's all words. If I'm going, whoa, there's something here, and I go and I face it, I don't escape it. Escaping would be, of course, get on Facebook or grab the bottle or whatever. But you don't do that. You sit there and you just feel it. And then your mind goes, you know what this is? It's very familiar. You felt this before. It's fear. Now you're going into words. You go back there, right? You just go, okay, no, thank you. Go back there. You face it. What I have realized is that when I do that, when I have found myself doing that, I am becoming the feeling. It's not Shenan is feeling. Drop Shenan, become the fear. Because when you become the fear, you're just the energy moving through you, and it goes, it transforms into something. As we know, as we've heard, energy doesn't die, it transforms, it changes form. Trans means change, right? Now, somewhere along the lines, I have personalized something, and therefore I am feeling fear or guilt or any of those down emotions. But if I am the feeling, if I am the feeling, not I am feeling something, I am the feeling, then now I have a chance, I have an opening, I have the opportunity with direct relationship with the principle of thought. This principle of thought is creating feelings. And that, in my experience, has shown me that it opens the door to what else the principle of thought has on offer, not my own thinking. My own thinking is just full of belief systems and opinions and judgments and comparisons and reference points and blah, 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 blah. Stories and stories and stories. Personal stories, emotional stories. Emotions that we feel are reactions to unconscious thinking.